business owners, subject matter experts, and industry leaders that recognize the need to share their knowledge with other businesses to help them start and grow their business. Join us Tuesday mornings, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, online at Radio Unilatina USA. Follow us on social media at #The Entrepreneurial Hour.
Good morning. My name is Stephanie Cates, and I am your host today with the Entrepreneurial Hour. My cohort, Robert, is out this week, and I hope he's doing well. I understand he had some travel, so I hope everything is going well and safe for him. Actually, his family, I don't know if you know this, but his family is up from like Minnesota or Michigan or one of those areas that was like minus thousands of degrees below zero. You know, it's like, who would even want to leave their house? Who would want to leave bed, you know? It's like all those big, heavy blankets that you had in the closet all of a sudden come out for that 1 week of the year, you know?
Were you vacation?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You know, so listen, today we have an exciting show. I have Jackie, and Jackie, I know you have a combined last name. Would you mind giving it to me for, because I don't want to say Sardui because
it is my last name.
Oh, but you combine it.
My maiden name is actually now my middle name.
Oh.
And I'm here with my husband. We own Indemnity Security and Investigations, and I help out around the office. I'm the office manager, HR assistant, do a little bit of everything, a little bit of operations, whatever needs to get done.
Excellent. And Steve, please introduce yourself.
Steven Sardui, president of Indemnity Security and Investigations. We're a security investigation agency. We provide commercial, government, hospitality, security. I've been in the industry about 17, 18 years.
What did you start as, can I ask?
I started off as a bouncer.
Yeah, I would have never guessed. If you go to YouTube, you'll see Steve's kind of a big guy. So he's the typical guy that would be at some of these swanky bars and clubs that say, you know,
that's where it started.
Or grab you and throw you out.
That's
Excellent.
where it started. It's been a heck of a journey to get to where we're at today.
So how did you get from bouncer? To someone who, you've got to have all kinds of credentials and licensing, don't you, to do what you do?
Yes.
So could you just all about, because somebody just can't go from a bouncer and now you're going to be head of my security over here.
So there's a lot of individuals out there that do work in that industry and are unlicensed, and it's illegal. There are a lot of licenses. We are regulated by the Florida Department of Agriculture. They are the ones that regulate the security, investigation, and recovery divisions.
Okay.
There's many licenses for our industry. Some people think that security is a dead-end job. It's not. I was a security officer once, got my license, and I just started getting other licenses and started just climbing up that ladder like everybody else does. You have your D license if you want to become a security officer. It's a 40-hour training, in which we're a school as well. We're a training facility. So if you want to transition into the security industry, you go through our 40-hour course. And if you graduate through our course, you get a certificate, and then now you're allowed to apply to the state of Florida for your license.
And once they're licensed, you can actually hire them then.
Right.
Your company,
once they're licensed,
right? Okay.
we could actually hire them, correct. If they're not licensed, we cannot hire them.
Okay.
Then you have your armed guard license. If you want a security officer that's armed, then it's a separate license for that. If you want to become a private investigator, you first have to be an intern for 2 years. After those 2 years, then you're allowed to go ahead and apply verifiable 2 years. Then you're allowed to apply for your actual private investigator license. Then,
and do you have a private investigator license
yes,
as well?
I do.
You do. Okay.
Yes, I do.
So you can. So you're actually Magnum of Miami.
It's
one of my favorite shows. I
think
Magnum.
I could fill up a whole page with all the licenses that we have.
Wow.
Then I have my instructor license, the DI instructor. So I am allowed to proctor a course if you want to become a security officer.
Okay.
There's also...
And you're also got licenses to carry firearms, correct, and use them, and
Correct.
or other types of things like tasers or other things.
There's two
correct?
licenses in order for you to carry a firearm in the state of Florida. So if you're working as a security officer, that's where your G license comes in. That allows you to be an armed guard on post.
Okay.
Okay. Then you have your concealed weapons permit, which a lot of people get confused with. That's just for your personal carry.
You and I.
Oh, okay.
That's for your personal
No, it'd be
carry.
you. Nobody wants me to have anything concealed.
I don't think I should have one either.
Your concealed weapons permit has nothing to do with work.
Oh, okay.
Nothing to do with work. It's for your personal carry.
And is that a lot of confusion? People think that they should, because they own a business, they get a concealed license, and then they think that that's something to protect the business. And,
because they're not educated.
There's a lot of individuals out there that will give you the license without actually taking you through a proper course. So you have individuals out there that are probably carrying a firearm and don't know the laws and regulations and might carry a firearm into a certain location, maybe a bar or a school, and they're not allowed to.
That's
get
scary.
educated. Get educated.
So the reason I wanted Steve to go through all of this certification, and again, there's a lot more, is because I want you to realize the quality and of the business that they have. They're just not fly by night. They've been doing this for over 17 years. They've got licenses. You have everyone certified because as a business, you protect the corporate security of your business by doing what you preach, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start with the first thing that I wanted to talk about is let's take this business here just as a business. How would somebody secure the physical building? What are some of the security measures if you're brought in as a security person and said, we need to secure this building? This is what we do. This is what we have. I don't know. It can be, an insurance company. So tell me, what would you explain to them would be the first things that a business would want to do to secure their physical building?
Definitely access control would be the first. You don't want to have a door wide open. You want to have some sort of a barrier. Somebody comes in, grab that. You don't want them just coming in. Could be anybody with a gun just trying to come in and harm everybody. Lock that door. Either lock it, have somebody come and just open the door, or have some sort of access control systems. There's different systems you could put in place for that. You could give all the employees employee badges. Employee badges that have access contact. So when they walk up to the door, it opens the door and they have access into the building. Security cameras. We definitely recommend security officers. Security cameras are great and all, but they're not necessarily a deterrent. It's not a deterrent. I can see in all those shows I watch because I love the crime shows. I'm going to tell you from personal experience. You wear a hat or a hoodie, and you know where the cameras are. Nobody are, and you just bypassed everything. I have security cameras all over my house, and guess what? They store my wife's vehicle right in front of our home. What?
He was pissed.
I'd sue that security company. No, that was. But you know what?
4:30 in the morning. Guys came, just covered up their faces, and
so they knew
they don't care if there's cameras.
Oh, they don't care. So, but he said that they covered up their faces. So.
They covered up their faces, and they knew there were cameras there.
Wow.
They were very aware. So
have you now posted guards outside your wife's vehicle?
We did for Christmas.
So cameras really don't, it helps you get an understanding of what happened and who it was. But in reality, it doesn't deter. I mean, it can. Yeah. They can. There's definitely a percentage that it will deter, but it can't stop anything.
Yeah, but there's nothing like a person being there.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying
trained person.
Correct. Yeah. I'm putting Stephanie out there. Hi, how are you? Got a gun? Oh my God! Run! Yeah. I would not be very good out there. Okay, so this is great. So we're talking the physical. When you as someone inside, let's say that you're looking at a building, or you guys have now potentially putting a proposal together. I know that you work on those with Stephen, and you look at the logistics of it and the whole project as an entity. How do you help him? I was sitting in this building. What kind of security would I want? And I know that we all put ourselves in those shoes.
Jackie's gotten pretty good at security.
Yeah, I bet you she has.
I've been an intern for many years.
Yeah. Yes.
Been an intern for many years. Mostly Stephen deals with that. When it comes to that, and we'll just put our 2 cents in as a team. We'll all come in and collaborate. We have our operations manager too. She sits in, and he usually does his walkthroughs, and he makes his recommendations as to what that building needs to get secured, because that's his expertise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Usually we'll go to a building where, people call us all the time. Hey, I want an estimate. And there's security companies that just shoot out an estimate. I'm like, no, I want to go out to your property. I want to take a look at what's going on.
Absolutely.
Right.
I want to take a look at what's going on. I want to speak to you. I want you to tell me what you're going through right now, and let's figure this out together.
Yeah.
It's like my business partner says, let's build security together.
And it's never the same. Every single every single client of ours is different. Right. Every single client is different. So everything's going to be laid out, personalized for the client, for their particular needs, because what this company needs and this office building needs is going to be completely separate. There's one of our pharmaceuticals. It's a huge building, so we have more guards, we have vehicles on site, we have golf carts on site, as opposed to a small little insurance company that maybe we just have somebody patrolling on a golf cart. So everybody's customized.
Wow.
It's different.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, pharmaceuticals and all those kinds of companies can be real targets now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially with the opiate.
With the DEA, with the local police departments, with the SWAT team. I mean, we do a whole walkthrough. The SWAT needs to know what the building looks like. God forbid there's an emergency.
Really?
Oh yeah. Wow.
And so once you take over that, you hand them schematics, or you work with them.
They have it already.
But you just work with them.
Together.
We work in conjunction with them
to make sure
that everybody's on the same page.
Well, I'd love to ask you about your opinion about what happened in our shooting up in Stoneman, but I'm going to leave that for another day. That's really sad. But I wish that we could look at more private security for our schools, as opposed to taking already stretched out police and actually in Broward, it's the sheriff's department, and trying now to extend them and bring on new people. I think they're hiring all kinds of new people, and you're like, and they're the ones going to be protecting our kids.
That really stimulated it. That got everybody running and trying to figure out a lot of things that were in the back burner.
Yeah.
Again, for your business, barriers, protecting fencing around,
parking lots. Oh, I want to think. Last night I was thinking, I need to ask him about parking lots. I get out of a car and, I take my keys and I put my finger through the ring and I walk like this, even if it's fairly lit, or if I've got like a cup like this, I'll put it in my hand so I can hit somebody with it if they come up to me. And I'm constantly walking with my head side to side, looking out the peripheral, because I don't always think that especially when we leave the college at night, we get concerned. Thank God, knock on wood, it has been fine, and they do have quite a bit of lighting.
And a lot of women are not like that.
Oh, I know. I see them like this. They're face down texting. I'm like,
it's very important.
Look at your environment.
Personal. I mean, we're living in a day and age where security is all around us.
Yeah.
Even when you go to the gas station, women, the leave versus in the vehicle. One of the biggest things that every residential community calls me, and they're like, oh, we had a vehicle break-ins last night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's
gotten into a point that even the cops are just saying, hey, lock your vehicles.
Lock your vehicles. Put security out there in your HOV. Start locking them. If you're not happy with what's going on, you're going to have to invest some money in someone like you, I would assume, right? Correct. So listen, we're going to take our pants to wet their way out. We will be back in an hour. Thank you.
See you guys in a few.
Unilatina International College with campus in Miramar, Florida is a boutique college with an applied, cutting-edge holistic education model. Business, tourism, and communication students not only develop their field intellectual skills, but are also empowered to become holistic professionals and human beings through yoga, self-empowerment, holistic human development courses, and more. Sign up to become a holistic professional at unilatina.edu or call 954-607-4344.
The Entrepreneurial Hour is sponsored by the Miramar Pembroke Pines Regional Chamber of Commerce, the Weston Florida Chamber of Commerce, and the Pembroke Park West Park Chamber of Commerce.
One, two, three, go. Okay, we are back with the Entrepreneurial Hour. And before we move on to our next topic, I did want to have Jackie, especially a female opinion, talk to me about how you protect yourself when you're leaving an area and going out, to your vehicle at night, maybe even with your kids or something. Tell our public how and you're in the environment, so I want you to share.
And ready? I mean, what are you going to do?
I had somebody tell me one time, every time they leave a building at night and they've got more than 10 feet to go,
run.
They kind of run skip, but they call their friend. They've got this buddy system going on because they're both single.
Yeah.
And they go, okay. And even if the friend isn't there, they leave a voicemail. They leave it, oh, I'm walking, I'm in my car. And then boom, and then you are, okay, just lock the door, turn on the motor, and there's nobody in the back seat. Okay, we're good.
So,
and
I want to jump.
Good task on that. So my next part that I wanted to talk about is that your business isn't just a physical location. Matter of fact, some people's business is in their home, but within the confines of your home, you've got intellectual property that you've accrued, whether it be documents, people's identity, people's personal information, which is all protected today one way or another. Mm-hmm. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you help people? I mean, let's say you walk into an office and then you see, I don't know, credit card information, people's name and addresses on files, just boxes of files, cabinets open. What is your suggestion as far as security of your intellectual capital?
Definitely a business, a plan together.
Okay.
I have it here. Code of proper conduct.
Okay.
Code of ethics.
And that would be for your employees.
For your employees. And that kind of sets a foundation of what you want them to do.
Okay.
I guess SOPs, standard operating procedures.
Perfect.
There's a lot of things you need to have in place in writing.
You can't just wing it.
I don't think so. I mean, you can.
But you'll be out of business soon.
Yeah. Schedule weekly or monthly shreddings.
Oh, shredding.
Yeah, you just call them up. They come over, pick up your banker's boxes, and then you call it a day. Here's your boxes back.
You want to schedule some audits. Every month, go around and just check around, see everything is
as the owner of the business. You mean
as the owner, or maybe somebody that you hired to do that for you.
Okay.
And definitely, I had it here. It was assign levels of access to your computers.
Oh, I know. Everybody has the same password. They all share it, and they're all the administrators. And then some disgruntled employee leaves and they're like, how come our bank account's in zero? Oh, wow. Well, that's because you gave everybody access to everything and they could do
the good thing about if you're creating a login for anybody, there's logs, there's audit logs.
Right.
And you could go back and see who was the one that accessed it. Right. Even your security alarm system. Most people share the codes.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephanie, you have your code. Jackie, you have your code. I have my code. God forbid somebody breaks in and they use a code. Well, let's see which code they used. Oh, they used Jackie's code. Jackie, how come this person had your code? What's going on? And I
was in Colorado Springs, so I had a small office, and we just, we didn't have a code to get in. There was a receptionist, and then there was no receptionist after Utah, where somebody walked into an AT&T office and shot and killed the people in the reception area.
Oh, wow.
So we were no receptionists at all. And then what we had to do is we had a key number to go in. Mm-hmm. So we also had tags up at the other place in Denver to get in, and you had to start like in the elevator, put it in to get to your floor. Correct. Now we're talking almost 20 years ago. And then all of a sudden there was this thing called skitching, where you wouldn't even realize it, but you hit your code and they'd get in and I'm going to the same floor. And then they get out behind you. And all of a sudden you had people on your floors that didn't have badges, that you just didn't want to confront them and say, why are you here?
Still happens.
Yeah, sketching. It's like getting on the back of the car and just driving, having them pull you with it.
I do it all the time, getting into a community.
Well, yeah, no, I don't do that. I'm afraid that if I come home and say to my husband, "What's wrong with the dent on the front of your car?" Yeah, I was trying to sketch into a community and I went on the front or back of my car. No, he would kill me. Not today. It's not worth it.
We're doing investigations as a private investigator.
Oh, I see.
These HOAs won't allow you inside.
They
won't.
Okay.
So you got to figure out ways of getting inside.
Ooh, you're devious too. I like that.
It's pretty easy too.
Okay, so you're saying now for your own, for all the data that you keep for your intellectual capital, meaning your trade secrets, what you do best, how you do it, what products, your secret formulas, all of that has to have a standard set of procedures, and people need to have rules and regulations. Only certain people should have certain accesses to those kinds of things.
Correct.
Am I quoting you correctly?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly
All right. Perfect. Well, now we started talking about people a minute ago because giving them access. Jackie, I know that you kind of do a lot of the hiring and stuff for your recruiting and hiring. Talk to me about security in hiring and recruiting, please, because I know you're pretty vigilant on that.
It's difficult. It's hard to find good people.
Wow.
Yeah. It's very hard to find good. It's because it's security. So you just don't want a Smo Joe. You want somebody with common sense.
I see.
Yeah. So it's hard to find good people and just quality and people that are reliable. Nowadays, everybody's like, yeah, I'll show up for your interview. And hey, your interview's I can't come in today. People they're not reliable anymore. So it's not easy to recruit. But we have a lot of resources, how we get people in.
Mm-hmm. So
we do job sets of interviews. So sometimes they'll come in, they'll meet with the operations manager and, if they're hire. Aside from all that, we got to read them out, speak to them, ask them a couple of questions, just kind of feel out the person. Then after that, it's, calling references about these people and see, getting word of mouth from their old employers and things like that. And then from there, we, hire them.
And definitely background. I mean, a lot of people don't have anything on paper and just don't have the capacity to be a security officer, and that's where Jackie comes in. She
because anybody can
the process. I mean,
do you do like some kind of like testing as far as like? Not IQ so much, but
personality test.
Yeah, anything along those lines.
When you apply with us, there's questions that we ask. And that kind of defers you, and you get like as a percentage, and that kind of like separates, what we're looking for.
Okay.
So it gives us a little bit,
Like what's that test that we did, Stephanie? The disc profile.
Disc profile, yeah.
That thing broke me down.
Yeah, the times.
Robert has too much information now.
Yeah, he does. He does. Just knows how to pull our buttons now. It's every single one of the employers out there. Your sentence there.
And more. There's a lot.
Okay.
They got to make sure that their parking lots are properly illuminated. There's a lot that as a business owner, you have to, because you don't
do the security. What kind of liabilities are they open for? So that'll be my next. But I'm really interested in her explaining to our business owners, our corporate owners. It's not just about taking care of your building and the existing customers, but you just can't hire a Joe Schmo that's going to come in here with all of his baggage and problems, and yet many people do. They even hire family members they know are terrible.
Yeah, I'm down and greeting me or looking at me like it's not going to be a good interview. And that's what people want. That's what customers want. You want somebody that's greeting you that says hello. You don't want somebody that's just, with their head down or this like that. You want somebody that's confident, that stands upright, that can speak to you, that can do the job.
So that means you really don't hire anybody under 35. Is that correct?
No. You know what?
I'm telling you, those young people, they're like,
the young ones are not easy, but there are a lot of young kids that I was one of those young kids growing up. Get that reputation. They don't have the experience, but some of them have a drive for things,
and they're willing to learn.
And I can pick that. And I
got a broker in the real estate business, Jim McCarthy, and he used to say, "He who writes the checks makes the rules." And it was going to be, and he'd sit there and say, You have an appointment yet today? Then sit there and keep making phone calls. Harsh, competitive real estate. And in 9 years, it's one of those things that, like you said, if you can get a good mentor and create employees.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to finish. Well, we have a second break now. And we with Stephen and Jackie from Indemnity. Thank you, Stephen. We'll be back in a
Uni Latina International College, with a campus in Miramar, Florida, business, tourism, and communication students not only develop their field intellectual skills, but also are empowered to become holistic professionals through yoga, self-empowerment, Tai Chi courses, and more. Sign up to become a holistic professional.
We're back. Oh, we're already back with the Entrepreneurial Hour. My name is Stephanie Cates, and I am here with Jackie and Stephen Sardui from Indemnity Security and Investigations. I'm almost there. So we are going to just backtrack a little bit with Jackie. Jackie, you're saying that you have a full recruitment program on where you recruit, and then you have maybe a model of the type of people. Do you only want people under 35?
No, we hire all ages.
All ages?
Yeah,
I'll tell my husband. No,
we hire all ages.
No, I'm only kidding.
We take care of our vets.
Oh yeah. I was going to
take care of our vets.
Is your agency a good place for veterans to come in and look?
If they're in a transition and they don't know what to do and they want to get into security, they could come to our school and we'll put them through our curriculum free of charge.
Nice.
It's normally $150 program. Plus they have their fees with the state of Florida, but we'll waive our curriculum fee for any veteran that wants to come on board.
Excellent. Well, that's wonderful.
And we pay their state fees.
Oh, nice. Seems like,
well, they don't.
We do.
No, we. The state of Florida has a program that if you've been discharged within a certain amount of time, they will go ahead and take care of the fees.
Nice.
But there's a certain requirement for that. As far as for us, any veteran that's out there and wants to transition into the security industry, we'll put them to our course free of charge.
So now, area you cover and the people you would be hiring for is everything from Broward County through Miami-Dade. Do you go all the way up to where do you hire? Where do you? Okay.
I'm like, well, Mr. International.
We do job fairs down in Miami, Broward, Miramar. We've gone up to Riviera Beach.
We've worked in the Keys. We've worked in Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
We've sent guys to Dubai. Sent guys everywhere. New Orleans. We have our executive protection team that consist of military guys.
Okay.
And, Puerto Rico, for instance, right after the hurricane, we got hired with T-Mobile to provide security officer, a certain quality, a certain type of individual to send out there to work with T-Mobile and work at these cell sites.
Okay.
Where they were putting back up generators.
And this is for protection of the T-Mobile employees, for example.
Employees and the infrastructure.
And the infrastructure. Okay. In case somebody was going to say, hey, we know where there's a cell tower, we can go hijack.
Generators.
No, you have, the whole island has no power, has no communication. Right, there's no power. So T-Mobile and along with Sprint, AT&T went out there and they're putting generators in each cell site. So what do you need for a generator? You need fuel. You can't leave the generator there by itself because it's a commodity at the moment.
Absolutely.
So they put somebody there. They put an armed guard just fueling up the generator and making sure that nobody steals.
Some boring job, but somebody had to do it, right?
They got water, and they have water, and they have and they have food there. So they have water, food, electricity. I mean, hey, let's go get this guy.
Yeah. Okay, so true.
That's where we came in.
Okay. I see. So you did that. So you've also done things, and I would assume that the same place down in like the Keys when they were hit very badly.
We worked with FEMA and the Red Cross.
American Red Cross.
To provide also some
we provided security for the states out there.
Okay. I heard that some of the sites had gotten pretty hairy, actually in the last hurricane up on
in the peninsula.
The peninsula up there. Some people getting angry, and we all understand. You've just been through 5 days of hell. We were part of the wandering minstrels during Irma. We were going that way because it was going this way, then it was going that way, so we turned and went. We were in a vehicle for literally 2 days trying to outrun
And when it comes down to security, a lot of businesses are not ready for something like that.
They walk away and they come back and their place has been ransacked.
There's definitely you got to have emergency plans in place. Who do we call? How do we get everybody back? I mean that when a disaster like that comes, I mean that's when actually we get really busy.
Okay.
For that hurricane, we're working with Home Depot, Ross. We were covering all of their stores.
Home Depot and Ross.
We had about 100-something guys out there on the road right after the hurricane.
With no power, working from our house.
Yeah, well,
because we didn't have power.
Of course.
And we had like 100-something people.
I have a big truck, so I go to people's houses.
Guy, you don't want him knocking at your door at 2 o'clock in the morning. Look at the girls over here going, no, I don't want him on it. of hurricanes and other things. And so if your people can't get there and all of a sudden food you have in your store becomes a commodity, or they know you might have cash or electronics, your store could be when people are
vulnerable. An armed guard.
Okay, those
part of the plan. Maybe right before the disaster, hey, get in contact with a security company. Say, hey, I might be
a security company. It should be yours.
Contact us. Yeah, you're right. Contact indemnity.
Have an emergency plan in place for whether it's hurricane or something else might happen.
Right before this disaster, these up our clients. Hey, how can we help you? Is there anything that you need from us?
Yeah.
I mean, right after the hurricane passed, was the Hurricane Irma? I think it was
last one that hit here.
I mean, the hurricane wasn't even gone yet, and I'm out on the road.
Yeah.
All you see in the road was police vehicles and military vehicles, and then you see my truck with all my lights on, driving. I'm going site to site. I'm going to all of my job sites, just assessing the damages. Letting them know, hey, everything's okay over here. And
that's amazing.
The clients loved it. They loved it.
I bet you they did. Because I'm safe with my family elsewhere, and I've got you guys on.
You've got indemnity security.
Yes, investigations on the job. Yes, exactly. On as an employer, you need to have some matrix on who you're going to hire. What does your ideal person look like? You have to have training, mentoring. You also have to do all kinds of background checks and different things, picking out a person.
We do those as well.
You do all that for the client. Excellent. So if I don't know how to do all that and I'm afraid to say, can I please have a swab of your, can I have some blood for you? Can you please pee in this cup?
We sit down with the client and I speak to them and I kind of just feel them out. I mean, they do their security stuff, but then I help with bringing the right person on board because they become family. They become part of that employment, even though they're not, with Unilatina, they're with Unilatina.
Yeah.
Because you guys got to work hand in hand together.
Right.
So I'll meet with you and we'll just feel you out and see what it is you're looking for. And then I'll then go and recruit and I'll have a couple of people and I'll pick from there.
Okay.
And she also, Jackie's very good at, we've been together for so long that she knows that certain sites require a certain type of individual.
And a certain type of look.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So. All
right. No, I'm saying, I don't want to sound stupid. What does sight mean?
Well, not the look.
Yeah.
The definite customer service. Talking to people. Hey, how are you doing? For security reasons. Them on that. For security reasons and for service reasons.
Absolutely. So we found today, and we find all over all these breaches and hacks. Many, many times the breaches begin with some unscrupulous person in a customer service facility that is actually have access to the back office of people. Either they're putting some literally like copy pasting email or something. They're doing stuff to steal credit card information or personal information or alarm is on. Even though people don't think that it's important, it's huge important not to just get somebody at $15 an hour or whatever it is to answer phones.
The bigger, then the more you start growing, the more you have to start worrying about security. Most definitely.
Why? Why do I have to worry about security? Why?
It's a risk. It's a financial risk, a financial liability. You have liability at that bad moment.
Well, I think that not all of these, a breach on your part the fact that you allowed credit card information out does not indemnify you. You still had a responsibility to keep it safe as the homeowner, and your insurance isn't going to cover you.
No.
You know, they might cover accidental fire or something. They're not negligence. Not negligence on the part of, and that's the huge problem we have today.
And they'll start investigating. Hey, where are your operating procedures?
Exactly.
Or where's your and things of that nature. You start, if you don't have it, it's negligence.
Wow.
Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I don't tell you, it's just a free-for-all. Nobody does anything, and nobody knows. The simple fact is, somebody says, we're missing money, or somebody did a chargeback of $7,000. I went, wow, that's a lot of money. And they said, yeah, can you help? And I said, of course we can. So we're putting the papers together, and I see that the person who's in charge of ordering signed the credit approval. It was sent it back. It's a company they've done business with before. But now the owner of that credit card, who's like the general manager, I didn't approve that. But guess what? The fact that she's employed and she is one of the users of that credit card actually allows him to be responsible for the fact that she used that credit card to make that purchase. So for him to say, oh, I didn't approve it, tough luck. You hired her. You gave her those authorizations to use it at her discretion.
Your loss, not mine.
You're bad.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things that people don't realize. I have employees and owners of the world and repping it, and I want to do everything. I want to be security. I want to be financial. I want to be everything in the company. And if I'm not doing that, I will breathe down your neck while you do it and then correct it anyway.
That's Steven.
Is that Steven?
And then I'm like, give me this. Give me that.
Because what happens with these people is see what happens as you do this out, and then that's where the problems lie. So I think understanding and putting good people, trustworthy people you vetted. I hope you vetted your wife here and that you know that she's that trusting those
I did my
people,
research.
Bit of a finger on what's going on.
And I get it because that was my same role years ago. But as a business owner, he has to start letting go.
That a guy like this walks into a meeting and he's like, whoa, he parts the waters, and people walk in and go, he's in security or is he the bouncer himself? Both. And you have a lot of clients that really want you. So I think you've also gotten yourself involved not only in protecting walkthroughs and your, orientations as you're looking at new proposals and buildings, right? Is that what you're pretty much focused on?
Correct. Business development and making sure that the client is happy. Just overseeing the overall operation of the agency. We've kind of changed. Recruiting is one of our biggest challenges. And when I go to securities for hotels and condominiums and whatnot, their first question is, where do you get your guards from? Because we all pool from the same pool of officers.
Of course.
Okay. So with that being said, we kind of said, okay, how do we fix this? And since we're a training facility, we sponsor individuals that want to become security officers. We train them in security and hospitality and back.
Yes.
Uni Latina International College offers an English as a second language program for international students. UIC's high qualified ESL teachers help students develop and master the English speaking and comprehension skills needed for both work and pleasure. Our ESL program also focuses on cultural adaptation through fun field trips and cultural experiences. Start your journey today at unilatina.edu/ESL or call 954-607-4344.
privately after I left.
Hi, this is Stephanie Cates, and you're with the Entrepreneurial Hour. Before I get back with my guests, Stephen and Jackie, or Jackie and Stephen, I'd like to kind of pitch this weekend here at Unilatina International College on Friday night, January 8th. One of our local businessmen, a great photographer.
February 8th.
Oh, February. Oh, my gosh. I'm retroing 1 month. February 8th. Thank you, Steve. From what time, Marcella? From 7 to 9 here at the small exhibit room here at Unilatina University at 3130 Commerce Parkway in Miramar. We are going to be having an exhibit of Steve's natural photography. He is a wonderful entrepreneur with, I want to say, 4 pillbox pharmacies across South Broward. And one of his passions has become photography. And he is a phenomenal photographer of wildlife.
I've seen his work. He's great.
He is great. And if you haven't had a chance to take a look at his work, he is exhibiting this coming Friday. Some light hors d'oeuvres, I think something to drink on the adult side, and just get a chance to speak to Steve and support his passion. So if any of you can make it out there, please do so. So we get our own officers. Okay.
So if we interview individuals that we feel have, go ahead and put you through our training, through our 40-hour training, get you licensed as a security officer, and then we'll put you through hospitality in this division. We'll put you through our hospitality security training our own curriculum that we've developed.
Okay. So a hotel that needs people, and they'll be paying for them, can also hire you to...
We call it hospitality security.
So you will help find and train and place with them.
So they hire us as a third-party vendor.
Okay.
And we cover, so let's say, most hotels only have 2 or 3 officers full-time for them. Then they have call-outs, then they have vacation times, or maybe they're in transition of looking for an employee for that particular location. That's where we come in. They hire us, and it bridges that gap.
Okay.
For the hotels.
I stay at a lot of La Quintas and those kinds of places.
There.
I was going to say, are you telling me that janitorial guy over there is actually a high-end?
No, we're talking about we're talking about our Ritz-Carltons, W hotels.
Okay, so you're talking about the ones
luxury
where
hotels.
A lot of people. No, spring break's coming up soon. What's that going to do for your numbers?
That gets
Ultra.
Then you have Winter Music Conference.
Winter Music Conference is next now in March.
Wow,
we're going to be busy.
I mean, we've a pool of officers for our events. We have over 300 officers.
Oh wow!
That we have.
I wonder why you're in such demand.
On a roster.
Wow.
So I mean, we've provided officers for Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Dolphins, Miami Hurricanes home football games.
Oh wow!
Not anymore. There's been changes in the contract there with the company that's on site.
Mm-hmm. But we did.
But we are still involved with the operation. We train their employees. We train all of Wayland Security. They for the Hard Rock Stadium, also Marlin Stadium. And we train any employees that are going to be going onto their operation
platform. And so we teach them, we license them, so they come to our school and they get our training, and then they
get licensed and they could go work for them over there.
So basically, you've been vetted by the big boys to make sure that you've got a curriculum that and you vet those people first for them, I would assume, or do they
they vet them first?
Okay,
because they're actually investing into their employees.
I see,
and then
they send them for the.
If they meet the criteria, then they made them kind of doing the same thing that we're doing with the hospitality industry.
Okay, so. Again, folks, if you own a business and say, are they who I really thought they'd be at the end of the day? Find out, have you disappointed them by not having proper procedures in place that are easy for them to understand? Are you making it up as you go? So that means everybody else has to be reactive instead of having a plan. Do you give each person the responsibility, defined responsibility, able to act alone, meaning they have their own IDs and securities and passwords, and they know the responsibilities of their job? If you've done all that, if you now are too busy to do that, then obviously you can reach out to Jackie and Steve, help you vet some employees, the background, the education, education, because the worst thing can happen is goodies get one bad apple walking in because somebody recommended, a friend said, "Oh, would you hire my kid?" They're on a joyride.
Aside from security, like any corporation that needs background searches, we do that as well.
Exactly.
So if you want to hire somebody, your receptionist for your front desk, we can run that background for you.
Make sure that they're not on some wanted list.
Yeah.
And I mean, to take it a little further, you got social media nowadays.
Oh.
A lot of employers are doing that, going into your social media and saying, what type of person is this? Are they a party animal? Or are they, are they a druggie? Or, what
I
do
had
they
that
do?
happen. I was with TSYS, my prior merchant company, and we were all heading to Omaha for training, and we were all waiting there, and they go, "What happened to the new guy? He was supposed to be here for this training." And they go, "Saturday and Sunday, HR went to look at his profile on the door, opened the door. Can you please pee in this cup?" And if I had a medical ID card, my company could have fired me at any moment. So, and I think people don't realize it. They're like, "Oh, it's legal in Colorado." National company, ability of hiring somebody that's really bad, and also leaving your employees vulnerable to not in the business that someone has, to be responsible for the safety of their people.
I mean, many things could happen. I mean,
it hasn't happened to us yet, but
they could come in with a firearm. They could, liabilities. Here.
Do people think, do employers think that they're not liable? I mean, if you didn't put security, if you don't have locks on your doors and someone comes in, can you be sued?
It's like what they say, you don't know what you don't know. So if they don't know, how will they be able to know what liability they're exposed to? That's where indemnity, security, and investigations comes in. We go out there, we help you do your security survey and tell you, hey, you have these vulnerabilities and you're exposed to this and you're exposed to that. And kind of shine the light on that.
But I say, I don't need all that expensive. I don't want that. And then something happens. Now,
absolutely.
That's what I'm trying to ask.
If the parking lot's not well lit, if there's no cameras in the parking lot,
and I slip and fall, or
you
something,
slipped and fall, or you get robbed.
Oh wow!
And there's not adequate lighting, you could get sued for that.
So the homeowner, the business owner, corporate owner, can't just say, "Well, you're
still on work. You're still working."
I'm as a business. Got to make sure that you're safe at all times when you're in this property.
How big of a business do you have to have that need for safety?
It could be as small as one person, or a building like this, like Unilatina.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend either get with a security agency like ourselves, or get you with your insurance provider. They provide. That's the thing, risk management, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know a great guy that does that.
And that's why we get hired, to reduce that liability.
Okay. So your insurance company would be able to help you out and say, here are the liabilities that you have.
If it's the right insurance company. I mean, I worked, even as a business owner, I was exposing myself to certain things on other levels. And my insurance company my risk manager, Pedro Corbello. And he was great. He helped us bridge some of those gaps.
Yeah, right. And
things that we didn't even know. You know, he was able to shine a light on.
Yeah, he's one of those people that happens, especially for kind of unique corporations. He is very customizable insurance based on that. So again, even if they have you and something happens with the appropriate coverage for liability, you should survive the storm.
Correct.
And that's pretty much the bottom line.
Because hey, we tried.
Yeah.
We put a system in place to try to prevent this. Now, if it didn't happen, hey, I'm sorry, but we tried what we.
Right. No. You and that's exactly what I was going to say. So, I want to say, kind of to round about here. What's your biggest pet peeve for businesses out there? Like, you walk into a business and you flagrantly see this, and you go, I can't believe.
We have security cameras. That's what they tell me, and I'm like,
okay. Now, why? Well, because today, if you don't have a security camera in your home and somebody robs you, they're like, hey, we have footage. There's nothing we can do. We don't know who it is. Well, can you fingerprint? Yeah, but they're likely not. And you're like, did you just kind of wipe me away? And they do. The police really do.
They do.
So without a camera with the face on there that they can definitely identify, they don't want to see you. So why is cameras the only thing that's good?
Why? What? I'm sorry.
You said they tell you they have cameras.
Oh, I mean, nothing like having a security officer there, interacting with people, stopping people, and providing that access control into the building. Some people like having that electronic call box. But then you have people, what was it the word that you said? Skitching.
You don't know what skitching is? Don't you remember when people were on their bicycle and a truck would go by and you'd grab on the back of it?
Yeah. But I didn't know that was the word for it.
Yeah, skitching.
I didn't know that was the word for it.
So they called it skitching when you kind of tagged on.
Piggyback.
Oh, yeah.
Piggyback, right?
Yeah, piggyback.
Even communities now that are putting these call boxes, electronic call boxes that put you to a virtual guard.
Yeah.
A lot of people, oh my God, it seems great. We're going to save money. But once they implement it and they see that it's not really
working,
stopping the skitchers and you know, they go back and they're like, no, we want a security officer.
Yeah.
Same thing with the cameras. You know, you can have a camera, you can see what's going on, but you don't have somebody there 24/7 watching those cameras.
Yeah, I had somebody say, "Oh, I have a code on mine," and I walked up to the code, and it was so dirty you could see exactly the numbers that everybody.
You can see the pattern.
The pattern.
Right?
I mean, it was 4 numbers, but you'd have 4 chances of doing the 4 numbers.
Now you went from 9 numbers to just 4. Now you know. Yeah.
So I want to thank both of you for being here. This is really enlightening. I have never had someone here that has talked to our business owners in this way. You know, we tell them how to protect their money, how to protect their corporate, business partners and be protective that way, how to save money on taxes, but to physically protect their assets and their people from whatever could come.
We've actually put some tips on our website. If you go to iSImiami.com.
Perfect segue. Please go ahead, introduce yourself, name of your company, your phone number, and your website.
So once again, Steven Sardoui, President of Indemnity Security and Investigations. Our website is www.isimiami.com. If you click on the blog link, we actually put a blog last night with some tips for your business and some inexpensive ways for you to protect your business.
Excellent. Thank you. As a matter of fact, you'll give that to us and we'll post it along with it. Okay. Great.
And also feel free to check out our Instagram, ISI Miami. We've got some great content in there if you want to stay on top of what we're doing. We work with a lot of celebrities and we try to keep up to date. I'm learning more about that. We just attended a 10X conference and my outlook on social media marketing is
starting to change. It's overwhelming though. That's why you almost have to hire somebody.
Overwhelming. It's very overwhelming.
I know somebody you could hire. You know Ray, right?
Yeah. I know Ray.
He does all that and he's great at it. So
awesome.
But what I was going to say now, Jackie, please go ahead. And would you also, if you don't mind, give people your email in case they don't want to call, but maybe can send you a little brief note?
If they have any questions, you can email me at Jackie. It's JACKY at ISImiami.com.
Your phone number
is 786-229-2959. That is my direct number.
Okay. And you would be able to help anybody
that has questions on recruiting a guard for their site. Feel free to call me. We also do special events. We also do special events. So aside special events department where we do galas and the
we do everything.
Yeah. So
we do investigations. We help locate missing children.
Oh wow.
You'll see all that on our site. We do a little bit of everything. It's just not the basic security that everybody just thinks it is.
Yeah.
There's different diversities of security.
We love to help the community.
Right. So you can be on the personal side as well as the corporate side and then events which are either personal or corporate.
Suits.
Yes.
That's the type of look. See, there's different looks for different events.
And that's coming up in March.
That's coming up in March. We look forward to having everybody out there.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being in the community. Thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you guys for having us.
My name is Stephanie Cates, and we are ending this week's show of the Entrepreneurial Hour. Robert, you were missed. You didn't get to drill down on these wonderful people. Ladies, my producers here, Marcela, along with your students. Can I have your names? Emmy, Jimena,
Carolina.
And Carolina. Thank you 3 for being our producers today. And we look forward to seeing you next week. We are out of here. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
The Entrepreneurial Hour radio talk show hosted by Stephanie Cates and Robert that includes local South Florida business owners, subject matter experts, and industry leaders. Join us Tuesday morning, 10 USA. Follow us at #The Entrepreneurial Hour.